Yeah, that's fine. Hello and welcome to the 2006 Magic the Gathering World Championships. I'm Randy Bueller. I'm here with Brian David Marshall, and we are ready for some exciting Magic. Got Gabriel Nassif in his hometown trying to defend the home turf, win the World Championships. There you get a good look at Gabe. He's broke the format. He and his boys got together. They worked for this Pro Tour. He wanted it in Paris. He wanted to get this top 8 and pulled it off. Broke the format. Has a very innovative Martyr of Sands Urzatron deck that he's taking into battle in this top 8. He's playing against Tiago Chan. That's the quarterfinal match we're going to start on. Tiago really coming into his own as a Magic player this year. Still has a chance to win Player of the Year if he can win this World Championship. But he's got his work cut out for him in this match against Nassif. Who do you look for in this match?
We're looking for Nassif in probably 3 games.
Tiago, actually, he doesn't like his chances in this matchup, but he's done a bunch of play testing. He's done a bunch of work. He's going to give it a shot. He feels like maybe I can steal a game here, maybe I can steal a game there. Everyone sort of acknowledges that Nassif is the favorite, but everybody also kind of wants to see this deck in action. I'm just looking forward to seeing what it is that Gabriel has actually cooked up.
Well, we have a Martyr of Sands in play. Snow White was a pretty popular deck in Standard leading up to Worlds. It's a deck that revolves around Martyr of Sands and Proclamation of Rebirth, but no one had really gone so far as to combine, the forecast of Proclamation of Rebirth is 6 mana.
Yeah.
Which is
a lot.
Is a reach for a lot of decks.
Absolutely.
Against the speed of a field with Boros, and so Nassif remedied that by combining it with the Urzatron engine.
Yeah, that was the secret.
So he has tons of mana and tons of time to do everything he wants. They sort of, the two strategies play hand in hand. The Martyr buys him the time to get his Tron set up, and then once he has his Tron set up, he can just go to work with the Martyr Sands Chrono Savant, drawing cards.
So meanwhile, Nassif has been establishing his mana with a couple of signets. Does have a Martyr already, Tiago, a signet, and a Court Hussar, and can't be happy to be stumbling on land drops here this early in the game.
Right.
Now, tell me about Tiago Chan's deck.
Tiago Chan is playing what we've called good color control. It's red, white, and blue, and it's got the basic win condition of the deck is either Demon Fire or a Sacred Mesa. I believe there's one Sacred Mesa in the deck. And the deck was designed by Frank Karsten, who's been a big proponent of it. Control might be a little bit of a misnomer in this case because there is only remands in terms of counterspell. So there's not really any resistance in the deck to what Nassif wants to do.
Right.
And Demon Fire is usually good enough to get you there.
Not when your opponent's capable of gaining 100 life.
No, and the playtest games apparently were quite amusing last night. Tiago described one match where he had 44 Sacred Mesa tokens in play, and he was attacking for 44 a turn.
Right.
The only problem with this is Gabriel Nassif was gaining something along the lines of 48 points of life a turn. With his Urzatron and his Proclamation of Rebirth being forecast and bringing Martyrs back every turn. And then eventually Nassif would wrath away all 40-something.
Well, here comes Lightning Angel from Tiago Chan. That's capable of dealing a relevant amount of damage. Lightning Angel comes down. That and the Court Hussar come over. Gabe's down to 15.
Right. Frank Karsten called the deck a subversively beat-down deck.
Chan's or Nassif's?
Chan's.
Yeah, okay.
He said it looks like a control deck, but really it's a good color beatdown deck.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old sort of red white blow stuff up decks. It's got some monsters, it's got some ability to blow up the board.
Actually, it reminds me a little bit of Star Spangled Slaughter? Was that the Picola deck?
Sure.
Lightning Angels?
Sure. Yeah, Lightning Angel hits reasonably hard.
And it's doing its job right now.
It sure looks like Nassif is just, it's like, I can take some damage, set up. I think we've already seen that Nassif has a Wrath in his hand, right?
Right.
Now here he's going to block with Martyr of Sands. Gain, let's see how much life? Looks like 9. What are the cards?
I see a Proclamation. I see a Wrath.
And is that another Proclamation?
Is it or another Martyr of Sands?
Yeah, 2 Proclamations and a Wrath. Yeah. So Nassif winds up at 21. Probably going to sweep the board here with a Wrath of God.
He may just forecast Martyr.
Oh, forecast and bring the Martyr back.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 9 Eternity. He doesn't have to do anything. He's out ahead of Tiago Chan right now in terms of life gain versus damage.
Sure. Can he gain 9 every turn? Does he have enough mana for all of that?
I think he might be 1 short.
Another
1,
Signet
2, 3,
from
4,
Tiago.
5, 6, 7. It's 2 to activate the Martyr.
I think it's only 1.
So it's 1, then he has enough. It's 6 to forecast and then 1 to activate. So he's at 9 a turn right now without doing anything else.
This is kind of the nightmare scenario for this is the nightmare scenario for Tiago Chan.
Right, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because what does Tiago do? He can't play out more creatures.
He knows there's a Wrath of God in Gabe's hand.
I mean, it's almost.
Yeah, Gabe's on his upkeep.
It's almost. It might not be unreasonable for.
You want to put do you have a summary we can throw to you, John?
Might not be unreasonable for Tiago to just scoop here. I'm not sure what he can do. And then if he draws another white card, it's 12 a turn.
Let's do a quick throw down to John Becker on the floor and get an update on one of the other matches that's going on.
Hey guys, just a quick update from the back table. Carrello had to mulligan to 5 to start the match, was inauspicious. And Agura managed to get the Tron on the board early and lock Carrello down under a spell burst. Carrello just scooted up looking at a full Tron with a spell burst in hand, decided to move on to game 2, saved a little bit of time.
All right, so Japanese player Ryo Ogura in his second World's top 8 takes the lead there. Oh, a 4th white card from Nassif now. Now he's getting 12 life a turn. Has added a Condemn to his hand. Anyway, Ogura playing a different version of a Tron deck. It's not a Martyr Tron, it's a Trisket Tron. Sort of a blue-white control-ish deck that the Japanese came up with that Katsuhiro Mori is also piloting.
Well, Katsuhiro Mori designed the deck.
Of course he did. Katsuhiro Mori. Mori and Ogura piloting Katsu's design. Ogura up a game against Paulo Carvalho, the Portuguese national team member, who's had a really good weekend. Portugal almost made the team finals as well. They were playing for it in the last round, so he's had a great weekend. Down a game here in the quarterfinals, though. Meanwhile, Gabriel Nassif continues to Proclamation of Rebirth to bring that Martyr of Sands back. He can now gain 12 a turn, he's only taking 3 damage per turn. Now what?
Is that a Bogardan Hellkite?
Looks like a hard-cast Bogardan Hellkite from Tiago Chan. That's a card that really, I thought, had a coming-out party this weekend.
Absolutely.
The Hellkite, I mean, at 8 mana, I didn't expect people to just be casting it.
I was shocked when I was going through the standard list and I saw specifically Karsten's good color control deck.
Mm-hmm.
It
doesn't even have the Tron. I mean, it's just
fair
playing
cast
lands to get there and just play it fair.
Yeah.
So
he just gained another 12. Is he actually at 50 here or 38? I'm not sure. I know it says 38, but 38. I feel like he just gained another 12. And then he lost 4 from the.
Right. So
I don't see what plan Tiago can. I'm looking through his list and I'm trying to find his what we like to call in the business an out.
Okay to start a John Bruce? Got another update on another back table. John, what's going on in the match with the reigning world champion?
Hey, it was a pretty interesting match. Love came out, as you would expect, pretty quickly with his Boros deck. Mori had a little trouble early because he had an Adakar Waste as his only blue source. Ended up pinging himself a bunch of times trying to dig out from under Knight of the Holy Nimbus and a Savannah Lion. Finally wrapped them away, but Lovett was holding back a couple of men, dumped him on the board, and Mori just wasn't able to find a solution before he's able to be taken out of the game in game 1.
Sounds like the age-old battle between beatdown and control.
Speed won that.
Wrathed away the first group of guys, but Welsh player Nicholas Lavette had enough gas left. Mori could not come up with the second Wrath, and Lavette takes the 1-0 lead against the reigning world champion.
So I'm going.
Both battles on that side of the bracket are basically Trisketron versus aggro.
Right. Just watching this game, I'm wondering if Tiago hasn't already given away a lot of his advantage by, well, not his advantage, given away maybe a win condition by compulsive researching himself.
Oh, interesting. Now he can't. Now
this match
losing the decking battle.
Very well could come down to decking,
Right.
and I think he has to be considering just holding all of his compulsive researches at this point, for, hoping to deck Nassif.
Yeah, we see here that Nassif, he's got the flashback, or sorry, the foresight going on Proclamation of Rebirth. He's bringing the martyr out every turn. He's gaining life, gaining just a ton of life. That's what the deck is designed to do. But then, how does he actually win the game?
He 1-0 in the Swiss. He decks his opponent. I mean, he can win with Chrono Savant.
He's got Chrono Savant in there, sure.
He has. They did briefly consider putting one Pendelhaven in for their 1-1 beatdown because they get all their 1-1s back after they wipe the board out. So they have Martyr of Sands and Weathered Wayfarer beatdown.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Again, he's just...
Yeah, well, let's go down to John Becker again. Sounds like there's more action on the other tables in this top 8. What's going on, John?
I'm up. We had a pretty interesting match over with Midahara versus DeRosa over there. Believe it or not, in the Dragonstorm deck, you expect dragons to storm out of the deck, but Midahara hard cast over the course of the game 2 Bogarden Hellkites.
Wow.
Not exactly fairly using Lotus Bloom, but managed
still
to push him out instead of using the Dragonstorm version. Just too much flying damage for Paolo, and we moved on to game 2.
All right, Mahara up a game with his Dragonstorm deck playing against Paolo Vitor's Boros.
Can we conclude the other 3 matches before game 1 is done here?
I started to think about maybe switching and get some coverage of the other matches. What happens next?
What happens next?
You say Nassif's win conditions. He's got
Nassif doesn't have to do anything other than do this every turn
for the rest of the game.
For the rest of the game until
because Tiago played a compulsive research, he's going to get decked eventually.
Yes,
that's his plan.
As long as Gabriel Nassif can gain more life, then Tiago can deal damage each turn. He's just set up. This is and what happens is if Tiago plays any more guys, then if he plays any more guys, he's just going to get them wrathed away, and Gabriel Nassif can go back to gaining tons of life. He has so much room. I would actually consider packing here.
If you're Tiago?
If I'm Tiago.
He would just scoop?
I might. I don't know how he can possibly do enough damage. He has nothing in his deck that can interfere with this engine right now.
Does he have careful consideration or compulsive researches he can try to deck Nassif?
He does have 2 more, or I'm not sure if he's cast 2 or 3 compulsive researches thus far. I believe it's 3.
Okay.
So he has 1 more, but he does not have the careful consideration.
Interesting.
And Nassif has compulsive research, so he will use those against Tiago to end the game.
Tiago's playing a Lightning Helix. Like, how awful is this matchup where...
He's remanding...
Oh, he's remanding his own Lightning Helix to draw a card, sure. Seems like his plan is try to wade through Gabriel Nassif's Wrath of Gods, and then catch him without a Wrath, build up enough creatures to actually outpace the Martyr.
He does have the Sacred Mesa.
That's pretty much the only way he can realistically do it, right? Wow. Well, you do what you got to do, right? Tiago Chan, I mean, he tested this matchup. He knew that his chances were a little slim. And things seem to be working out just as predicted. Gabriel Nassif is able to set up his Martyr of Sands recursion, and there's just not much that Tiago's deck can do about it.
He's now a game and a half ahead of Tiago Chan. Almost 30 points.
He's at 50 life.
That's a great shot. We can see Gabriel Nassif in the foreground. You guys...
Katsuhiro Mori.
Katsuhiro Mori.
There's the reigning world champion and the reigning Japanese national champion. He'll be competing today in both the individual top 8 and also the team finals. In fact, let's go back and watch some of Katsuhiro Mori's match. We'll check in on Nassif. We'll keep you updated on how this game goes, but it looks like they've settled in for the long haul, so we'll try to bring you some
Second Lightning
bring you some coverage of a different match.
21 life. 21 life a turn for Nassif now.
All right, we're now on the match between Katsuhiro Mori and Nicholas Levet. Mori is on the left of your screen. He's playing his own version of a Tron deck, his own design, in fact. It's a blue-white controllers Tron deck. His opponent is playing Boros. Boros, pretty popular deck. Seemed to be a pretty good call in the metagame, but we'll see how it does. Becker, put their decks in the right spots on the map, please. Take one.
So, and Mori has probably brought in a couple of Circle of Protection reds here for this game.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to assume so. He's got
pretty good sideboard card.
He's got one Spell Snare, two Spell Snares main, which seemed very good against...
yeah, in fact, you saw Levet sort of very cautiously asked, can I have a Knight of the Holy Nimbus? And because he knew about the Spell Snares. Mori did not have one, so we have a Knight of the Holy Nimbus in play.
Remember, these guys have access to each other's deck lists. We've talked about the play testing.
Right.
So they know they've play tested, and they've play tested extensively sideboard, because you play, theoretically, in a full match, you play 4 sideboarded games.
Right.
So
Levet sends over the Holy Nimbus.
That's actually the most important play testing you do in this format, is trying to anticipate how your opponent will sideboard, and maybe trying to anticipate ways that you can sideboard that your opponent wouldn't have expected. Although I don't think we will.
No, well, Katsu clearly brought in the Copperhead.
But that doesn't do a lot against Knight of the Holy Nimbus.
There's another Knight. Katsu's been building up with Hallowed Fountains. He's got one piece of the Urzatron so far. Haven't got a good look at his hand. Looks like he does have a Wrath of God, and there it is. Sweeps away the 2 Knights.
They don't have protection from Wrath.
Nope. Even the automatic regenerating ability. Regeneration, not good enough against Wrath of God.
So, have you heard about Kenji's play with Knight of the Holy Nimbus in one of the side drafts this weekend?
No.
He put Detainment Spell on it, and your opponent can no longer pay the 2 to make it lose indestructibility.
So if you draft Knight of the Holy Nimbus and Containment Spell, you effectively create a just indestructible creature.
It's an indestructible creature.
Wow. Is that actually good?
I don't know if that's actually good. I mean,
it's cool.
It's clearly cool. Detainment Spell's not actually an underrated card in draft.
Okay.
And because it has the ability to move around, you can have it do something else, and then when your Knight's there, you just move it in play. You can move it in play from one creature to another. It's a nice little thing to put in your hat and throw away for a tough match where you have no answer to a situation. Saltari Priest has replaced the 2 Knights. Looks like a Volcanic Hammer has been aimed at Mori as well. Just the Tron seems to be eluding him here. He's got if Hallowed Fountains were Tron pieces, he'd be sad.
There's a Signet for Katsu. Oh, our scoreboard is actually wrong. Levet leads this match 1-0, not Katsu. These seem like the crucial turns where this game's going to get decided, right?
Right.
Either Levitt's going to be able to get out enough damage before Katsu can set up, but I mean the long game clearly favors Katsu.
Well, he's got it. In the late game, he's going to have. He's got a Teferi. He's got Faith Shredder. Seems like it would be a fine pull at any point for Mori.
Sure.
His draw seems very flat. It doesn't. I can see a COP red there.
Yeah, Mori seems like he's in great shape. He's got Copperhead, he's got Wrath, he's got Spell Snare, Remand. Pretty much seems like he's in total control of this game. Yeah, he's taken 2 a turn, but whatever. He can do that for a couple turns. If he doesn't draw Face Fetters, he can use the Wrath. Okay, goes ahead and decides to Wrath away just the 1 priest. Perfectly reasonable. Especially, did we see a Teferi? Love it on the other side. He's got some burn. He's got a Char and a Lightning Helix and a Rift Bolt. So no creatures, but he does have 10 points of burn. And Lovett takes this opportunity to go ahead and get that Lightning Helix damage in. Knows the Copperheads are coming. Sees Mori tapped down to just 2 mana, so pretty smart play.
Pretty happy to have, if Mori has the Remand, he's pretty happy to have him use it there.
Yeah, sure. Lovett draws a Pain land. Points a char at Katsu's head. Does Katsu want to go down to 6 here? No. Remand. Now Nicholas can go ahead and get the char to resolve while the coast is clear. Does precisely that. Pretty aware play from Lovett here. I mean, we know Katsu's got a cop red in his hand, and now he just took 7 points of burn with a cop red in his hand. Can't be super happy about that.
And here comes the cop.
Yeah. Down comes cop red. All right, now that 6 life seems like a much safer total.
Although Lovett does play Ronan Unicorns. So Maury needs to, but Maury has the spell snare, so we have an interesting give and take there. Vacation Javelineers. Mage Scroll, that's not going to do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gabriel Nassif just cracked 100.
Wow.
102 life for Gabriel Nassif in that first game now.
Did we cut away because the numbers on the lower portion of the screen?
No, we tested it. We can actually handle 3 digits.
Can we handle 4?
I don't know.
And he still has not Wrath of Godded anything away. The Hellkite was condemned, probably because he would have had to discard otherwise.
I'm told we can have as many life total digits as we need.
I don't believe them.
Well, if Gabe gets up to 1,000, we'll cut back and put our AV guys to the test.
Here's an interesting card, by the way, that just snuck in under all of Maury's defenses. Ication Javelineer. Doesn't get affected by Cop Red.
Right.
Can't be spell snared.
Sure.
It's actually almost the ideal threat for Lovett to have drawn there.
Did you say Ogura up 2-0? You got a summary ready?
Oh, except that Teferi's gonna eat it.
Oh, Teferi. The Javelineer just goes smashing into the 3-4 legend.
All right, is there another game we can cut away to now?
We do have an update, actually. Let's get an update from John Becker on what's going on in the Ryu Ogura match.
Hey guys, actually, I'm sorry, I'm on the Midahara match over here. Midahara.
Midahara versus DeRosa.
Right, Midahara just took game 2 of doing what Dragonstorm does. He just unsuspended a Lotus. He has Seething Song, I believe. Basically, Dragonstorm for 4, put out 4 Bogarden Hellkites, 20 to the Dome.
That'll do it. So Makihito Mahara up 2-0 over Paulo Vitor Damo DeRosa. DeRosa probably pretty happy he managed to lock up level 6 yesterday. The Brazilian team got a 4th place finish. You know, they had a shot to get to the team finals, but came up just a little bit short, got 4th place, but that was good enough to get Paulo up to 50 points for level 6, and also to get former world champion Carlos Romao just made level 3. He's back on the gravy train, exactly.
Very exciting. Congratulations, Carlos. He seems to be, we talked about this also earlier in the week, where he seems reinvigorated by all these exciting young Brazilian players.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Traveling around the world and going to
He's excited he's excited and playing pretty good Magic right now.
Yeah, won a Grand Prix.
What happened to Teferi?
So, we had a Lightning Helix, which was spell snared.
Okay.
After it ate the Ication
Right,
Javelineer.
Teferi came down, ate the Javelineer.
But we there's some burn in Lovett's deck, and he just burnt it out.
All right.
And there was it wasn't a fight. Either it wasn't a fight Maury wanted to pick or was able to pick.
Oh, sure. With a 1 point from the Javelineer, the Riftbolt was able to finish it off. That makes sense. Cool. And let's go back down to John Becker. This time it really is the Ryu Ogura match.
Sorry, guys. Carl having a lot of mana problems today. He mulliganed to 5 again. So he started off very slowly, eventually facing down not only the Tron Spellburst this time, but also a Cop Red in the table. Scooped up, trying again in game 3.
So Ryu Ogura with the Trisketron deck takes a 2-0 lead over Paulo Carvalho. Katsu also seems to be in control with the Trisketron deck. We could see a lot of that. Those two are on pace to potentially meet each other in the semifinals, but Carvalho and Lovett have got a few things to say about that before it happens. Now, how does Maury actually win the game? He's got his Cop Red. He seems like he's in reasonable control. You know, Lovett is just desperately trying to get in the last couple points with white weenies, basically.
What he would like to do is he would like to set up a Spellburst lock.
That's Katsu's plan?
And then he'll just finish him off with a Triskelivis.
Okay. There's Magus of the Scroll. Do you counter that if you're Katsu?
Isn't that called Rishit Import?
Yeah, all it does is tap a land and have to throw away a card to do it, right?
Well, you don't throw it away. You just have to reveal a card.
Oh, right. Sorry.
By the way, just over on the other table in the Nassif match,
Yeah.
Tiago Chan is casting like 18-point Demon Fires rather than discarding them.
Oh, a Julian Mountain player card enters play. I think that's Julian, right? That's
Yes.
hilarious. That's his opponent in the team competition today. In the team finals.
16.
Well, on the opposing team anyway. The champs are Maury and Cornelison. Julian made the top 8 one way or the other.
What kind of token is that? Oh, it's a Urza's Factory token.
Yep. Maury has the Fultron, not just the tower, the power plant, and the mine, but he's got the factory too.
He got the extra credit?
Yeah.
He scores 110 on Tron?
Still doesn't have the power plant, but...
Oh, so it's an incomplete. Okay.
But he's got the factory. Magus of the Scroll seems like a problem there, though, right?
Sure. Well,
If
short-lived.
If Lovett sets his hand up correctly, then yeah, okay. Katsu goes ahead and wraths.
Wraths has more than enough mana to make a token. I hope they've probably laid in a good stock of tokens for this match. It was very funny. They were really the support staff for the feature match area was really scrambling around trying to make sure they had enough tokens. If there are more than 50 Pegasus tokens in play, we might be in trouble.
Apollo and Mahara ready to play? Yeah, hold on for a second. Sure looks to me like Katsu's got this game under control, right?
Oh,
It's pretty much impossible for
Lovett's
just going through the motions. So let's try to check out the match between Paulo Vitor and Makihito Mahara. Bruce, can we go to C? We'll get our cameras moved over there and see how Paulo can do versus Dragonstorm. He's down 2-0. He's got his Boros deck. Dragonstorm notoriously inconsistent, but Mahara's basically got 3 shots to shuffle up a good one.
What's the game? Does anyone have? Do we have a life total check on the Nassif match? I'm just curious. I see a lot of Demon Fires being pointed. I see Lightning Angels attacking every turn. I'm just curious.
Yeah, Nassif still hasn't even played that very first Wrath of God.
No, he hasn't.
Right, the turn 4 Lightning Angel is still in play.
And the turn 32 Lightning Angel is in play, and 2 Quarter Stars are in play. So if we could get, I'm curious if Nassif has dipped back below 100 or not. I doubt it.
He has not.
He has not.
Still triple-digit life total for Gabriel Nassif.
So really, the Demon Fires are just, I don't want to
discard.
I don't want to discard.
Damn, it seems like he has to force the Wrath. He still hasn't been able to force that very first Wrath of God out of Gabe's hand. Crazy. Meanwhile, what's the backstory of Makihito Mahara? Probably the least known of the 3 Japanese players in these top 8, but certainly not unknown to you.
He was a Japanese national team member 2 years ago.
Right.
And he is the designer of the Cal.
Oh, okay.
He's a very well-regarded Japanese deck designer.
Okay.
And you know what? Again, he's the next guy in a lot of ways. He's always the next guy. The Japanese just seems to be infectious.
Okay.
Right? People. You see other players around you doing well. You're a good player. You have good players to test against. What we talked about earlier.
Right.
You get when you can test your decks against the best players in the world.
Sure. That's how you get good.
You learn to make the best decisions.
That is how you get good. So turn 1 Lotus Bloom from Mahara. Meanwhile, Paulo is coming out as fast as he can. He's got Savannah Lion, Knight, and Rift Bolt just trying to smash damage through. Telling time for Mahara. He is queued up to have that Lotus Bloom resolve next turn, and that's the turn he's supposed to win, right?
That is. I wonder if Paulo hasn't jinxed himself here.
What do you mean?
Well, he's not a soccer fan. He does not follow football, as they call it in everywhere but the United States.
Right.
And yet he's wearing a Brazil football jersey.
Is that a football jersey?
Yes, it is. Perhaps a little.
You know, this is actually this has been a running feud between the Japanese and the Brazilians for a while. Like, they played in the World Cup. They actually played in the World Cup during Pro Tour Charleston. It was on. I remember being on the TV in the lounge, and all the Japanese players, they sort of knew. I mean, it's Brazil, it's football, so and they give themselves a big chance. But in their mind, it was okay. They rationalized it, saying, "You guys can have football, we have Magic."
Right. I remember the judges saying that. The Japanese judge.
And now here, Mahara's trying to put Paulo in his place. Go back to the football. This is our place. Top 8 Sunday in a Magic tournament. This is Japan's field.
Wow, look at the body language on Paulo.
Yeah, Paulo just looks defeated.
He could smell Player of the Year. I mean, it's within his grasp.
Yeah, 3 wins away.
Tick, tick, tick.
Lotus
tick,
Bloom suspending
tick.
one more.
Whiff.
All right, Whiff Bolt resolves. He points that at Mahara. That drops Mahara to 11.
So he's
got
fall
6
to
damage
5
here. 5 points of burn is pretty tough.
Volcanic Hammer would do it.
Yeah. I heard you.
Lightning Helix Volcanic Hammer. I see.
Needs another land too, right? Suppose he got 3
see
cards in his hand?
A Marcelo Valencio Volcanico.
Oh, interesting. Paulo's got Honorable Passage in his hand.
But he's got to worry about Giga Drowse.
After sideboarding, do you still have Giga Drowse against Boros? Paulo should
Probably not.
Oh, Paulo's not even going to play the Volcanic Hammer. He's going to leave his opponent at 5.
Right.
Leave up the Honorable Passage.
Right, even if it's lethal. Even if it's a lethal Dragon Storm.
All right, well, there's ritual number 1. Lotus Bloom. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just cast.
Oh, he just hard cast the dragon.
Oh, and it's not all aimed at
1 to a lion.
Paulo.
1 to a lion. 3 to Paulo. That's still lethal, right?
That's going to be lethal.
He honorable passages to 3 that's targeting him back at Mahara, and Mahara's tapped out, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's got the Helix in hand, so this game's over.
I think Paulo's got this one.
He's just going through it to make sure.
What happened?
Maybe he doesn't want to show him the honorable passage.
Why did he not pass
Well,
there?
he's got.
I don't get it. Oh, he's going to passage this damage. Block. Passage to 5. Wow, there's 5 damage smashed back at Mahara, and Paulo takes game 3.
Is that a slow roll from Paulo?
It was close to a slow roll. It's actually, I think, strategically correct, because if Mahara doesn't block, then he doesn't have to show him the honorable passage.
Right.
Right, because the 2 from the Nimbus. I know, the deck lists are public, so I can't imagine, Mahara, of course Mahara knows there's honorable passage there. I mean, Paulo didn't want to remind him about the honorable passage. Didn't show it until he needed
that's
it.
reasonable.
But I mean, realize that's funny. Like, I would have just instinctively deflected the 3 targeting my head. Right, that's the game. You untap and Helix, but
you untap and Hammer.
Paulo realized he had no reason to.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That's funny.
And now the body language has changed.
Paulo looks. He's sitting up in his chair.
He's uncoiled.
He's leaning forward, shuffling. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Because he was just clenched in and hunched over. So.
Who's number 10, by the way? He's got the Brazilian football jersey. Is that Pele?
Are you kidding me? I don't know.
Sorry. Thought you were insulting someone by not knowing who number 10 is. I'm sure someone will tell. It's probably been posted in the forums by now. Meanwhile, on table number 1, Gabriel Nassif has actually won the game.
Oh my gosh.
I think Thiago scooped him up, realized that game 1 had hit the point where it was in fact unwinnable. So Gabe Nassif takes a 1-0 lead in that match.
Pretty sure he could have done that about 15 minutes ago. I don't think he had any conceivable way to win that game.
No, we saw this game. And also, another update, in the match we were watching with Katsuhiro Mori and Nicholas Levette, Mori did indeed win that game. There's Urza's Factory. He had Urza's Factory at Cop Red. He had the defenses all set up.
Sure.
And in fact, did finish him off. So that ties that match at 1 apiece. These are best 3 out of 5 matchups in the quarterfinals. Just to update you on everything, we've now got Rio Ogura leading Paulo Carvalho 2-0. Rio hoping to get through to the semifinals, where he would take on the winner of the match between Mori and Lovett. That's 1 apiece. Other side of the bracket, Gabriel Nassif leads Tiago Chan 1 game apiece. And then Gabe, assuming he holds on there, which everyone expects him to, would take on the winner of this match. Makihito Mahara versus Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. And Mahara up 2-1. Paulo looking a little better when he was down 0-2. He definitely had the sort of the losing slouch going on, but feeling a little better right now. You were mentioning the Player of the Year race. We're in the situation right now where Shota Yasuka is done. He finished 150-something, got the minimum 2 points. I believe they got him to like 61, I think is the number. And only 2 people can catch him. Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa can catch him by winning Worlds and getting 25 points. Tiago Chan can catch him by winning Worlds and getting 25 points. 20 points, not enough for either guy. I actually think they both get to 60 with a second place.
Which, we give them some polite applause. 60 is just, can you imagine that? You get 60 points in this sort of shorter Pro Tour season than we've had the past couple of years. You get to 60 points and you don't win Player of the Year.
You get level 6. Level 6 is pretty nice.
It's virtually winning Player of the Year. It's almost the same economic rewards, with the exception of the posh luxury suite at every Pro Tour stop.
Right. Yeah. Technically, the only real benefit for Player of the Year from a financial point of view is the luxury suite hotel instead of just a free hotel room.
Sure.
But
the swagger.
Yeah. Player of the Year. Exactly. Player of the Year is not about the money. Player of the Year is about the title.
Sure.
It's about the swagger. It's about history. It's about people remembering you for the rest of your life as Player of the Year.
Think about the players who've been Player of the Year.
Not very many.
No, not very many. Bob.
Kai.
John.
Yeah.
Kai.
What is it with the 3-letter names?
Ole Rade's been Player of the Year.
Right. What Kenji Samura.
Kenji Samura.
What is it with the 3-letter names, by the way?
I don't know.
Bob,
by the way, before anyone
Kai,
posts
John,
that Gabe is spelled with 4 letters, Gabe is actually spelled G-A-B.
It's true. It's the way he spells it.
There's no E. The E is silent and invisible.
Are those the top 4 players in the history of the game?
Bob.
I've got Gabe in third. He could certainly. I think Bob might be number 4.
Bob is. Yes, I think so. Especially when you rack up all of Bob's other titles, he has fewer top 8s. He has 4 top 8s, fewer than a lot of players, and certainly fewer than, say, Darwin's 8.
Sure. Meanwhile, Makihito Mahara and PVDDR are off to the races.
I was going to say, you did use the full name a couple times there.
I know. 5 names is just too many for most of the English-speaking world to deal with. PV, I've heard suggested. Apparently, that's what some of his friends call him. DDR seems kind of cute.
DDR is very funny. PV is the name he uses in the forums on MagicTheGathering.com. He's posted in the forums of my column a couple times. I've interviewed him in the column. So,
what are those are...
Mahara has repealed a Savannah Lions and a Soltari Priest.
And now down comes back down comes the Priest, and back down comes the Savannah Lion. Mahara's got to feel good, though. 3 turns into this game, and he's only taken 1 point of damage.
Have you been surprised to see the storage lands?
Oh, he's taking 0 points. He's actually winning on life. PV is at 19. PV doesn't sound right. I don't know. It's not working for me.
Okay. Well, I like just Vitor.
Vitor?
Yeah. It sounds close to Victor, as in victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Victorious could be kind of funny. No?
I don't think so.
Really?
We should get the forums to sound off on this. What's the right nickname?
We need a good nickname. We call him Pele.
Telling time from Mahara, and comes up with Lotus Bloom. Take him a couple turns, but he's bought those turns. Those early rewinds just saved him a ton of damage.
Repeals. Yeah.
Sorry, repeals.
Turns, got him cards, take him closer to his win condition. What have you been surprised to see the storage lands? How did the storage lands play out in the Future League? Did they get a lot of play?
People messed around with them a little bit. I think they were at this point where it's like, maybe if the situation's just right. We figured they were certainly good enough for limited and in an interesting spot. I think the key decision, the key tweak was taking the tap off of the second ability. That was like when they had the tap on the second ability, they were just garbage. Like nobody would play them even in limited. And then the suggestion, it was actually my suggestion, take the tap off, and now they're in a spot where they're sort of at this very interesting power level. We might finally have the first storage lands that actually are you're not sacrificing too much.
They're actually very exciting.
Yeah, I think they're cool. I was pretty happy with the way this turned out. Mark Rose sort of likes to call that development design. Right? You find exactly the right combination of cost to put it at an interesting power level. It's certainly not the most innovative cards we've ever done. There have been storage lands for years from a design point of view. But I was pretty happy with the way those turned out.
Yeah, I got a nice. I had a nice moment when we were doing a draft. I was playing against Aaron Forsythe, and I cast the Coal Stoker, and I had 3 mana, and I had nothing to do with it. I was tapped out, but I had a storage land in play, so I removed 0 counters 3 times.
Nice.
And Aaron, Aaron's a harsh critic, and a kind word from Aaron goes a long way. So he was like, "Oh, that's nice. I didn't really see that play coming."
That's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. So you can remove 0 counters. They're a sink for your Coal Stokers.
Meanwhile, Paulo Vitor finishes him off. Too much damage coming out of that Boros deck. Mahara could not set the engine up in time. Paulo crunched over with the creatures and finished him off 2 games apiece.
I blinked. What happened?
I think we did too much mental stealing of ourselves for the potential Nassif Chan match.
That's true. All right.
Magic doesn't always take that long.
More.
Especially when there's a
focused.
Boros deck involved.
Yeah.
So Paulo.
That's all locked up all of a sudden.
Yeah, Paulo coming all the way back. Down 0-2, but smash.
And then staring down the winner of the Nassif Chan match, whoever wins this. How hard is it in this situation? You're in the quarterfinals. You're worrying about your game 5. How hard is it to not think about your semifinal match?
I think it varies from person to person. I mean, I really think it's just up to the individual psyche. I mean, some people are able to just focus on the task at hand. Right now, I'm playing this game of Magic. Nothing else matters. I have to win this game of Magic. What does my opponent have? What's he trying to do? How's this going to work? What's my plan? Other people, I mean, for me, I was always pretty good at getting sort of into that tunnel vision. Just get the tunnel, focused on this match, and ignore everything else. But, I mean, other people, I think, it just depends. It comes down to sort of your own psychological makeup. You know, can you ignore those distractions and focus, or do you get distracted?
How important is it to? Do you think it's important not to get distracted?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that focus is what you need. I mean, that's how you. Okay, you've got to win 3 matches, but I actually remember Mike Krzyzewski, who's the basketball coach of Duke. It's one of the big college basketball programs in the United States. You know, talks about the NCAA tournament, which that's a 64 team bracket. You've got it, but they just focus on it as 3 different tournaments. You know, you have to win the first weekend. Like, you don't get to keep playing unless you win the first weekend. So, you know, he's got his team just focused on this weekend is all that matters. You know, don't think about the Sweet 16. Don't think about the Final Four. There's just this tournament to win this weekend, just two games of basketball. I think that's crucial. I mean, I think that's how you stay on top of your game. That's how you make the right decisions, is to stay focused on this is exactly what needs to happen right now. And, you know, it's what good does it do you to be thinking about what might happen in the semifinals? That's just maybe it doesn't distract you. Maybe it's just sort of neutral, or it does distract you and you miss something in this match.
So you have someone like Paulo Vitor who's got the Player of the Year title.
Sure.
Looming.
Yeah, you know.
He has to put that out of his head. He can't think, wow, even if I win this match, then I have a really tough semifinal matchup. Mm-hmm. That's the pitfall here for him, right?
Right.
Like mentally, as he's shuffling up, as he's making his mulliganing decisions.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you think about that the night before, I guess. I mean, you are looking ahead and trying to, if you've got the time, you try to test some of the potential semifinal matchup. I mean, his semifinal matchup here is very obvious, right? It's almost certainly Nassif. In his case, though, he had a team competition to play yesterday. You know, he and Brazil were making their run, and so unlike Tiago Chan, unlike Makihito Mahara, you know, those guys got to practice. They got to spend all day Saturday preparing for this top 8. He didn't. So I don't know. I mean, in his case, I think the thing I'd be more worried about is just exhaustion.
Absolutely. Worlds is a grueling tournament.
It really is.
Especially for the players who play all 5 days. Mm-hmm.
It's true.
You know,
no, it's rough. And 4 of these guys had that. Carvalho was on the Portuguese team. Katsu was on the Japanese team. Victor Paulo on Brazil. And Levette on the Welsh team.
Right. No one will play more Magic this weekend than Maury. He's also, I mean, win, lose, or draw. He's got a team draft. He's got a draft and
it's true.
A match to play.
It's true.
No matter what happens. So.
Oh, and
looks like,
let's go down to John Becker and see if we can get an update on the match between Katsuhiro Mori and Nicholas Levette. What's going on down there, John?
Hey guys, it was a pretty interesting match. Levesque came out very quickly with turn 1 Savannah Lions, turn
That's
2
what he wants to do.
turn 2 Javelineers,
Sure.
Savannah Lions, and put a lot of pressure immediately on Maury. Maury was stuck only on 1 white man and didn't have it until about turn 4.
Oh, did he have the Wrath in his
It
hand?
was just an Addercar waste. No, he did not have the Wrath in his hand for a couple of turns thereafter. But he had a lot of things which normally are very good in a matchup, like a cop red in his hand. But
Okay.
Levesque didn't have any red men.
No,
They were all
he's
white
getting
men
attacked
being
by
down.
white weenies, right?
And it looked like it was very precarious that he might stabilize.
Okay.
He tried to fate. Maury tried to fate Feathers, and Levesque responded with a lethal lightning helix, which got spell burst.
Okay.
And then the next turn, Maury tried to do the same thing, and it got smell stared. So twice in a row, he kind of dodged the bullet. But then Levesque finally drew his third land, which is a Charge of the Dome, when Maury was tapped out for a Triscalavis.
Okay.
And that was enough to do it finally.
So Nicholas Levesque takes a 2-1 lead over the reigning world champion. Wow. Katsu's got to win 2 straight now. Now, is this a mulligan in the Paulo
It looks
match?
like it's a mulligan from Paulo.
Second mulligan.
Second mulligan.
Wow, this is a game 5. Mahara took the first 2 with his Dragonstorm deck, but Paulo came back. He won game 3 with a timely honorable passage. He won game 4 just brutally fast. A couple repeals just didn't slow him down. But he's going to 5 cards for game 5.
Boros can do it. I mean, again, he can.
Is that right? That deck's totally capable of winning off 5 cards?
You don't need a lot of mana for your threats.
Sure.
Your threats are Savannah Lions and Knights of the Holy Nimbus. Hey, meanwhile, I just want to talk for a second about game 2 of the Nassif match.
Okay.
We've got it playing out on our monitor. And you can see probably a 3-1 permanent advantage for Tiago Chen, who sideboarded in annexes in the matchup, it looks like.
Oh,
and
wow.
Giant Solifuge, which seems like an unlikely sideboard card. We talked about how
Paulo kept his 5, and they were
developed
off
these
to the
interesting
races.
strategies. And there's the Savannah
There's
Lion.
the turn 1 Savannah line. That's how you win off a mulligan to 5.
With the Flagstones as his land.
Nassif does have a Martyr Sands, by the way, but because of the annexes, he does not have enough land to bring it back again. Savannah Lions crunches in. Mahara falls to 18. Savannah Lion gets repealed. Paulo looks like he's stuck on 1 land. Did you just choose not to replay the Savannah Lion? No, I got end step repealed. Okay. You got end step repealed now. We know he's got Savannah Lion. Just the 1 land.
He's expecting a remand here.
What are you going to do, not cast it, though?
No, it still stings. Just taking a look through the deck list. Yep, 4 remand. And it was, he just cycled through remand to draw a card.
Sure.
We got the second land from Paulo. The thing about the Dragonstorm deck is you have no idea what position you're in against Dragonstorm. You have these boards where your opponent just has land and no action, and you're like, all right, I'm in great shape.
Yep.
And then suddenly your opponent, got 3 cards in hand. And they're like, Rite of Flame, Dragonstorm. Take 15.
All right, well, Paulo played on Knight of the Holy Nimbus, and then he played a second Ruins of Trocaire to go get a couple of planes out of his deck.
Sort of an unmulligan.
A little bit. I mean, he's got his mana set up now.
It undoes 1 mulligan.
It's 2 cards for 2 cards.
Oh.
I mean, it just fixes it. Thins a little bit, but I mean, it's neutral on cards.
That's true. But he got red.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, yeah. Certainly he's happy to have red mana. Certainly he's happy to be at 3 and have his deck have a little more spell density in it. What he's not happy about is the fact that Mahara is still sitting on 16 life. And here we are, 4 or 5 turns into the game. Telling time.
4 or 5 turns. What happens on turn 5 with the Dragonstorm deck?
I don't know. It's supposed to win on turn 4, right? Meanwhile, we have our first semifinalist. Congratulations, Ryu Ogura. Pablo Carvalho just could not get it going. He had some mana problems the first couple games, and Ogura pulls off the sweep. 2-0. We now have 1 Japanese player through to the semifinals. You were talking about Shuto Yasuka and his quest to win Player of the Year. It's kind of like he's got 3 bodyguards in the top 8. 3 of his fellow countrymen are trying to take out Paulo and Thiago.
Oh, that's true. They got a flying wedge.
Keep the title in our country. Another telling time from Mahara.
Yeah, this is just such a scary place to be in. You're
For
playing
Paulo,
your
yeah, he's got the
strings,
slouch again.
Yeah. Again, you just feel like any turn your opponent can just tap out and kill you. Anything exciting going on in the forums?
Reading. Somebody noticed the Nassif yawn.
So what do you...
They're happy we switched off the Nassif match. That's what I've got so far.
So what do you guys do at home? I know people are posting in the forums. What are you guys doing while you're watching this match? Are you just up? Are you guys up all night watching this? Are you? Is it daytime? What?
I think the people watching right now are staying up all night, which is awesome. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, if I was home, certainly that's what I would be doing. Although maybe I'd be sulking because I wasn't here. So I'm not watching that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't not been to one of these in like 10 years.
It's been a long. It hasn't been quite nearly as long for me, but it's been a long time since I've missed one.
I haven't missed one since summer '97.
Wow. That's Levy-like.
It's longer than Levy's streak, actually. A couple events longer.
So,
Paulo knows the 2 telling times resolved. He knows his opponent's is setting his hand up. He's just smashing over as quickly as he can. I believe is Mahara at 12 now.
12. I see at least 8 points of burn in hand, but not enough turns necessarily to get all that burn to resolve.
Right. There's another Knight of the Holy Nimbus, and there's a Rift Bolt. Pretty efficient use of mana.
Rift Bolt's been an exciting card this weekend.
Sure. Mahara draws the card he set up with telling time. He's facing 6 plus the burn. There's a sleight of hand.
Spell
Yeah, Mahara needs to go off this turn. Paulo can probably kill him next turn. But, I mean, you can tell from Paulo, he's just got his arms folded and the slouch, got his head lolled to the side. He knows this is probably the turn. Mahara set everything up. It's now or never.
Oh.
There's a ritual.
Oh, boy.
There's another one. Sleight of hand. This second ritual will be 3 spells.
It's okay, Paulo. There's no shame in a 60-point season. Or even a 50-plus point season. Level 6.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's gonna be a great year.
Yeah, it's a 51-point season for him.
51-point season. So, hopefully you'll start going to some Grand Prix.
If you'd $500 a piece waiting for him.
If you had gone to more than one Grand Prix, you might be Player of the Year right now.
Did Mahara miscount? Like, he played that ritual, and then he took back the second ritual. Did he miscount his mana?
No.
He didn't sleight of hand to leave himself without enough for Dragonstorm, did he? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 6 in his pool.
Oh my.
This ritual sends him to 8, right?
We always get a dramatic play. Is this the one?
He didn't sleight of hand himself to 1 mana short, did he? Is that a smile starting to grow Paulo? Picked his hand off. He's looking. It's like, what is this happening?
Did Willie Edel just attack with everything here? What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, if Mahara just has that ritual, that's not enough. He's 1 mana short, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 untapped lands. He's got 2 red in his pool from the Cold Snap ritual, the first one. The second one would send him at +2. That's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's only 8 mana.
And there's a Rift Bolt looming.
There's a Rift Bolt and 6 points of creature damage. That's 9. That drops him to 3.
Great shot on our right monitor of a giant Rift Bolt with a suspend counter on it. There we go.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
Wow. This is unbelievable. I take back my...
Get a good summary. I'll set you up as soon as this ends.
Wow, I am stunned.
Yeah, I mean, Mahara's just sitting there staring now. Like, he must not have it.
Is this
he had it.
If he has it, this is just a savage slow roll.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have it, he's like, what does he do? Paulo getting a little more confident by the second.
Wow.
Why aren't I dead? I'm supposed to be dead.
Oh, the smile. Involuntary muscle reaction.
Here it comes.
How do you say awkward in Portuguese?
Yeah, pretty much the entry condition to get into the red zone, into the feature match area these days. You got to speak either Japanese or Portuguese. Between how well the Brazilians are doing and how well the Portuguese are doing, it's becoming the language of. God, look at Mahara. Yeah, he's in trouble.
Wow.
He's just staring at those cards, going, "This was supposed to work. What just happened?" He's confused and scrambling for a plan.
So he's got 2 mana in his pool from the first Rite of Flame.
Right.
So he goes down 1, and he adds 3.
Mm-hmm.
That would give him 4.
All right. Well, it looks like he's decided on something.
Yeah, no, that's 8 mana, right?
Yeah.
Dragonstorm still costs 9?
Still costs 9. I mean, he could hard cast a Hellkite for 8.
I don't think that'll do it. He'll be tapped out. He can't kill the Knights.
No. I mean, it might keep him alive.
I think the judge is just...
Yeah, Mahara, you got to make a play. He's been here long enough.
Pulls 2 counters to indicate 2 red in his mana pool. Can he just run away from the table? Wow.
Wow, repeals the Savannah Lion. Just a draw card.
Maybe if he draws a Seething Song.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's some sort of a desperate play like that. Used up 2 mana there. You know, he's got 4. He can get to 6. Yeah, Seething Song would get the job done.
Paolo.
Or what? Seething Song's only +2, right?
No, Seething Song is 5 mana.
For 3.
+2. Yeah.
+2. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. The ritual is 5, 6. So even a Seething Song is not good enough there. Oh, he just got a slow play warning, too. There's the ritual. Oh, is that another ritual? That was good enough.
Wow.
Oh, my God. He repealed into the third ritual.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I don't know if somebody on the floor got to look at his hand, but I think he just repealed into the third ritual.
Oh.
Unbelievable. There's the hand from Paolo. Oh, my goodness. Makahito Mahara wins. 3 games to 2. Unbelievable. He used a sleight of hand and then realized he was 1 mana short of the Lethal Dragonstorm. His whole plan fell apart. He looked at his hand. He's like, how can I possibly win this game? I screwed it up. The only way he could come up with the win was he had to play a repeal on a Savannah Lion, and he had to top deck
Rite of Flame.
Rite of Flame. The third Rite of Flame. There's only 2 left in his deck. And he did it! He did the repeal. There was the Rite of Flame on top of his library, only chance, and then all of a sudden, Rite of Flame, Dragonstorm, kill you.
Mahara looks like he's going to pass
Wow.
out. Look at him. He just knows he stepped into the street and just missed getting hit by a bus.
Wow.
Like he just looks stunned.
Unbelievable.
He looks like he's in shock. Paulo, what a gracious opponent. I mean, Paulo is just...
Yeah, he must know. Unbelievable.
Last game, I am big premise and all 8 man as a song and bigger and top deck song.
Wow.
Yeah, he just said I top decked it.
Yep. Yeah, third Rite of Flame was +3. That's what he needed.
Wow.
Jeez. Well, let's go check in on the world champ.
That was exciting.
Mahara is through to the semifinals. Ogura is through to the semifinals. That's 2 of the 3 Japanese players here. Nicholas Levette leads Katsuhiro Mori 2 games to 1. They are in game number 4 right now. The reigning world champion, Katsuhiro Mori, has got to rattle off 2 wins in a row if he wants to continue to defend his title. So that's what he's trying to do. Looks like we are early in game 4. There's a Javelineer, a second Javelineer, and a Savannah Lion on Nicholas Levette's side of the board. But that Savannah Lion has been fettered. Maury's faith is strong. Picked up some life. Shut down the lion. Looks like he's got all the mana he needs. Now here's a compulsive research. What are the life totals? Is it 6 to 12?
6.
He's at 6, so sounds like we're on the crucial turn or two here. Katsu's able to draw. Yeah, if he's compulsive researching, he's probably going to take a hit from those 2 Javelineers. Discarded 2 spells, interestingly. Nicholas Levet just needs one more win. If he can deal 6 points of damage right here, he knocks off the world champ and goes through to the semis.
He may have some spells in his deck that deal 4.
It's true.
Did we just complete the Tron? Did we just get there?
No, not yet.
Maury's trying to decide whether or not it's safe to tap his mana.
Yep, that's what that look is. Do I do this? Yes, maybe, no.
You know, we've talked about Brazilian players, Japanese players, Portuguese players. The UK players they've had a good year. They've had a good year.
Craig Jones got his top 8. Quentin Martin got a top 8, and now here's Nick Levet.
From Wales?
From Wales, absolutely. Member of the last ever Welsh national team. They're actually merging. They're going to UK nationals next year. And the Welsh finished in the money. They
had a shot at the team title for a
they were in it with 2
brief
rounds
time.
to go.
Yeah.
Finished 6th.
And there is a no play yet from Maury. Taps his cold mana.
Okay,
his signet.
Signet. Fair enough. So he still has
Remand
potential.
mana up.
All right, Nick Levet on taps. His opponent is at 6. A couple of Javelineers are going to send him to 4. If you've got Char, you just go for it here, right?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Oh, he passes the turn. Katsu draws that card very slowly.
His trademark scarf.
4-9.
Is that the Tron?
Wrath
Still
of
no
God.
full Tron, but there's the Wrath. Deals with the 2 Javelineers.
And their counters right there. You have to tap to use
Yeah,
the
it's tap and
Javelineer.
use the counter. That's right.
I don't play Type 1, so I don't know what a Javelineer does.
Been a while since that card's been played in Standard. Okay, as a response, Nick's going to go for Lightning Helix.
Because.
Not sure that it, as a response, does anything, but
Well, it means that to remand it, Katsu has to take
it takes
1.
a point to remand. Sure. Katsu's hand has... Oh, there's Spell Burst.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with the buyback? No, not with the buyback.
Now with the buyback.
That drops him to 3, though,
Yep.
with a point off the Adhikar waste.
So
And
if
the Wrath resolved. So Katsu is down just in Urza land.
We got a
No
burn
blue
spell?
mana. He's at 3. Do you got a burn spell, Nick Levet? Yes,
Yes,
he
he does.
Lightning
Wow.
Helix. Wow. The Welshman is through to the semifinals. Nicholas Levet will be taking on Ryu Ogura, the same matchup he just won 3-1 as Levet tries to get through to the finals.
we
Woo!
predicted Trisketron versus Aggro in the semifinals.
Yeah, we
but I
did.
think
We had it the other way around.
We had it flipped.
Huh. So the champ goes down. Katsuhiro Mori's attempt to defend his world championship title is over. He doesn't look real happy about it, but he's got to get his head together because
He's got to play some Magic.
He's still got some Magic to be played. He gets to take off about a couple hours, have himself some lunch, but he will be back right after lunch. He will be helping the Japanese defend their team title. If you remember last year at the World Championships, Japan won everything. Kenji Samura got Player of the Year. The national team, paced by Masashi Oiso, got the world's team title, and of course Katsu got the individual world title. Here, they've got Ogura versus Mahara through to the semifinals, so they've still got a shot. I mean, if the matches are coin flips, then it's 50-50. 50-50 whether a Japanese player wins individuals. Katsu trying to win the team title now, and Yasuka still trying to hold on.
I have a question. Is Levitt's Boros deck the best Boros deck? He's 7-0 with the deck right now.
He's the one with those Wildfire Emissaries did not look like the right call once he got paired against the Trisketron decks, but worked out for him here. didn't really seem to hurt him. Meanwhile, we got one quarterfinal match left. Tiago Chan versus Gabriel Nassif.
Shocking.
When last we left this match, Gabriel Nassif was in control of game one. A funny thing happened while we were off camera. Gabe did indeed finish that game one, but John Becker, what happened in game two?
Tiago apparently found a way to win as he annexed not only
Really?
not 2, 3, but 4 annexes, all of Gabe's colored mana sources, preventing him from recursing and using the Martyr by taking all of his color, leaving him only with factory pieces. Managed to
Unbelievable.
pull out that game, too.
He took every single piece of colored mana that Gabe had?
Everyone.
Wow. Let's hear it for the Portuguese guy.
Gabe was able to bust off the Martyr a couple of times to get some life to play with, but he never had 2 white to recurse it, and at the end of the game, he had no colored mana on the board at all.
All right, so these guys are tied 1 game apiece, and this is game 3 now. How's game 3 going, John? Have you been able to get a good look at it?
You know, we just got back over here. And
is that Chrono Savant in play?
You see a
It is a
Chrono
Chrono
Savant.
Savant. Yes, it is a Chrono Savant play and not sleepy.
And is that a COP red?
Yes.
Top red and Chrono Savant for Gabe.
On
What
both
are the-
sides.
On both
Oh,
sides?
both players have Circle of Protection red. Why?
No, there's not a...
No, that Tiago doesn't have a cop red, does he?
No, it's a Signet.
Sure looks like a Signet. Nassif at 26 life. Chan at 20.
Demon Fire, the Chrono
Larry?
Savant. Chrono Savant is removed from the game.
Upkeep.
Oh, Demon Fire removes it from the game.
Foreshadow.
Foreshadow. Is that what the ability's called in French?
Probably.
Go.
Foresight brings back Martyr. So Gabe seems to be in control of this game, but does not appear to be about to win it, unfortunately.
Well, he never appears to be able to win it.
Hey, Duncan or Becker, can you tell Scott Larrabee to get on headset?
The annexes have not shown up this game. I wonder if Tiago's bringing them in on the play versus not on the play.
That plan seems pretty good.
Oh, and there's the Sacred Mesa.
Oh, Sacred
Oh,
Mesa.
These were the long games in playtesting.
We should go ahead and play that semifinal, right? 10:30 was your schedule?
Your turn. Second free.
Still might as well do it, right?
29, 20.
You don't think so?
So we're only gaining 3 here a turn for Nassif.
Upkeep. Foreshadow.
He's forecasting the Martyr, but he has no white card in his hand other than the Proclamation.
Started, right? I think.
The only white card in Nassif's hand is Nassif, so he can only gain 3 a turn here.
Okay.
He needs to draw some cards. If he's going to outrace the Mesa he has, does he have any way to deal with the Mesa after sideboarding? He does have Disenchants, so he can actually deal with it.
That is an annex under the Tiago's power plant, by the way. So he's got the annexes
Alright,
on the
yeah.
play and the draw. He's gotten an Urza piece away from Gabe.
Sure.
He's making Sacred Mesa tokens, and his plan, basically, with Sacred Mesa tokens, he can make them faster. He can actually, in theory, outpace the life gaining from Gabriel Nassif. In fact, given that Gabe's only got 1 white card in his hand, it's not even that hard to outpace the life gaining here.
No, and he's going to make he's going to be able to make 4 tokens at the end of turn.
27, 20.
So
We
he's
can
got.
start after this game, maybe?
Well, Tiago Chan is definitely.
He's got a shot at this.
We talked about this. We talked about the Akira Asahara Marcio Cavallo match at Worlds last year, where Asahara was given similar
chance.
odds. No chance.
Okay.
This is 2 white cards now. He's going to start getting 6 a turn.
Yep.
33.
So 33. Oh, wow.
Again, he gets to a Wrath. That buys him a lot of time. Because
Foreshadow.
Thiago's got to start all over again.
It's funny, I think we're actually going to this match. If Thiago wins here,
this is a precedent. What we're about to do, what you're telling me. We've never done this before.
No, it's
right?
true. It's true. We're actually going to start the semifinals, the match between Rio Nagura and Nick Lovett after this game.
And we're prepared to let these guys play through lunch, are we not?
We're prepared to let them, if they have to. Gabe can play through lunch. He can play through the team draft. He can play through the team finals. He's just got to be done in time for the finals if it goes that far.
It's funny, and this is a long game, but this is a fascinating matchup.
I look forward to watching it in bursts,
bursts.
20 minutes at a time for the next 7 hours.
I mean, it's really a study in how you approach a matchup. Again, it emphasizes the quality of your playtest partners.
Yes.
What we've talked about.
And two great players.
It underscores how important playtesting is.
Right.
And
Thiago Chan looking for ways to win this match and finding them.
And more than anything, it just demonstrates how important it is to prepare for sideboarded games.
Sure.
This point has been made by innumerable pundits over the years, but you play the majority of your game sideboarded.
It's true.
And most people do not. I know everyone out there is going to say, no, I test sideboarded. People do not test sideboarded, and they don't test enough games sideboarded.
Yep.
And enough games sideboarded against other decks sideboards, which is a very difficult playtest situation to create. But this is fascinating.
Yeah, we're going to keep checking in on this match for however long it takes. I mean, even if it goes 5, we'll certainly bring you coverage of all of that. But meanwhile, we'll get the other semifinal started and have that to watch in addition.
If Nicholas Lovett can continue his remarkable Cinderella story, this is his first Pro Tour.
It is. He had 0 lifetime pro points coming to this. He also, I heard, joked his constructed rating coming in was like 1750 something.
Wow.
He 6-0'd day 1. I believe he 4-0'd day 2. I don't think he's lost a constructed match.
Wow.
I don't think he had. I think he just got into a drawing position and went 4-0-2 on extended.
And did he pick up? How many points did he pick up in the team competition? I'm curious. You said he finished 6th.
The Welsh team finished 6th, so 6th is worth 3 pro points. So win gets him to 28. It's not quite enough to be Rookie of the Year, right? I'm pretty sure Toller is at 30 something.
Yes, it's not enough. But I was just curious at what he needs to hit 18.
Oh, to hit the
lock up level 3 for next season.
One match.
He's got.
He's at 19 points right now.
He's at 19 right now?
He's at 19 points, having gotten through to the semis.
Right,
that's worth 16 points.
So he's level 3?
He is level 3. We lowered the line to 18. Congratulations, Nicholas Yvette. You are on the gravy train.
Yeah, a whole year of Pro Tours.
Qualified himself for a whole year of Pro Tours.
Well,
wow.
We'll see you at next year's Worlds.
We will.
All the way through.
How much?
It's a pretty good reward for beating Katsuhiro Mori. I mean, that's the end boss, right? He should drop pretty good loot. Meanwhile, Thiago Chan is up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pegasus tokens. He's attacking for 8 a turn. Nassif's still only gaining 6, right? He's actually starting to whittle away Nassif's life total slowly but surely.
Okay.
Nassif looks a little concerned.
Gain 6.
Gains 6. Sends him up to 33. He's got some wiggle room, but he needs to draw white cards and or Wrath of God.
I think Disenchant.
How many ways does he have to destroy Sacred Mesa?
I believe he has just has the 3 sideboard Disenchants, which I'm assuming he brought in. Mimeo Fracture is not going to do it. Although it would possibly get him the other Sacred Mesa if he's assuming Thiago sideboarded in the second Sacred Mesa.
4 Shadow Stack.
That's really it.
39.
Like 39, 20.
4 Shadow the other one.
Is he doing this twice a turn? So he's actually gaining 12 a turn.
Oh, he's up to double proclamation
He's able to double proclamate. Can't afford to let that come into play untapped.
No way.
Despite gaining 12 a turn.
Here come more tokens. What has he got? 3?
He's got, I believe, 3 more.
He needs to steal the entire
Just
Tron.
use dices.
I was talking to tournament manager Scott Larrabee before the match started. He's got 50.
50?
50 Pegasus tokens. He's prepared.
Is it like Magic Online? Will it say Tiago Chan has exceeded the ability to generate counters or tokens?
Yeah, sure.
I think they want to know the actual number. So, are those in units? Is that like a 5? Is that a? That's a 10 and 3 ones.
Wow.
Clever.
They do stack up on Magic Online.
Sure. Those are the Magic Online tokens. In fact, we got them from the Magic Art Director before the weekend. Just in case,
wonderful.
printed them out.
These are exclusive to the Pro Tour?
Yeah, I mean, they're actually just printed on paper. They're not cards.
that
But they're in a
doesn't matter.
sleeve, so they look like a card.
They're still exclusive Pro Tour artifacts that people are going to want to have.
That's true. The tournament manager Scott Larrabee says they're mine. Mitts off.
I'm going to get one from him.
All right. Good luck.
May get it signed by Tiago.
I think Becker's closest. He can steal one.
So
Steal 2, Becker. We each get one.
Life 34, 20.
Double proclamation from Nassif again.
Yep.
Nassif looks a little agonized.
I mean, he sees himself losing this game. He's not supposed to be down 2-1. If he loses this game, he's actually trailing in the match, 2-1. A match that most people thought was unlosable.
And again, we've been talking about body language for the last 2 Pro Tours. Nassif, hand on his fist, face on his fist, just slumped. Tiago looks confident.
No.
Well, to be fair, Nassif always looks like that. I mean, Nassif, he's got that Bob Maher thing going on. He's always convinced that life is out to get him. He sort of motivates himself by thinking about how awful life is
He's got such a
treating
great
him.
smile. For someone who's so dour, he's got such a great smile.
Okay.
All right, here comes some more tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't know. Every time
It's
he
like
starts rubbing
17.
his eyes and scratching his head, I've seen him win, though.
Right. Now, he definitely tries to manipulate his opponent with his body language. Nassif's got a lot of tricks. Great player. Great player, facing down 17 Pegasus tokens. And when the dust settles, it's 29-20. So I think Chan is turning a 5 life profit every turn now.
Sure. And it's going to just...
And it'll be expanding.
2 mines, 2 towers, and 1 power plant.
Sounds like we're going to get the Tron shut off with an annex here. Or at least an attempt at shutting off the Tron with an annex. Which is interesting because also he's sacrificing 2 tokens to do that.
Sure. If he can shut down the second proclamation, though.
Yep.
Which pieces does Tiago have now?
Does Tiago have the Tron?
No, he got 2 power plants. He's
Right.
denying Nassif the Tron rather than
Right.
trying to get it himself.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually not even sure which is the right play.
I'm pretty sure it's keeping Nassif off.
If he had this other annex, though, that's a lot of tokens.
But every white card is 6. Every white card would represent 6 life.
Close.
Can he keep him off of doing it twice? He needs...
He shut the Tron off with that annex, right?
Right, he needs 14 mana to... He needs... Yeah, 14 mana
14
to do
mana.
both. Doesn't
1,
look
2,
like
3,
he's
4,
even
5,
close
6,
to being
7,
there.
8, 9. I don't think so.
Not even close to being there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 12 mana.
Yep.
By shutting off the Tron, yeah, Tiago Chan just effectively dealt 9 damage a turn.
It's like 8 Demon Fires in his deck.
Go.
Well, Nassif didn't play a land, so that means he probably drew a white card, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 more tokens for Tiago Chan.
Has he completed his second unit?
He has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carry the 1. Replace those with a 10. 21 Pegasus tokens now for Tiago Chan.
You should make unit tokens.
It'll come up so often. It's now come up once in the 10-year history of the Pro Tour.
And you would think if you were attacking for 21 a turn, the game would be a given.
Guy in the forums points out that in Paulo Vitor's match where he won with the honorable passage off the dragon, it actually wasn't lethal. Because of flanking, the dragon's only a 4/4. I mean, we know he had the lightning helix in his hand, but in fact, he needed to... because of flanking, that wasn't lethal damage.
That's very funny.
I missed it too.
I did miss it.
Life 8,
I mean, none of the Holy Nimbus has a lot of abilities.
Yeah. 3 white cards for Nassif. Able to gain 9 life. Number 10 is Ronaldinho, by the way.
Ah, of course.
Of course.
I probably should have been able to guess that. It's probably the only soccer player I could name.
Only active one.
Only active.
I'm sure you could name Pele.
Yes, I have named Pele.
Foreshadow. Researching.
Well, compulsive research. Gabe wants white cards and or Tron pieces.
White cards and Tron pieces. That's right. I see in the forum someone mentioned that it's PV from Magic League.
Yep.
And it's where Paulo stomped around for a while.
Absolutely.
Building up his chops. Sounds like it's going to be PV, huh?
Nobody likes the DDR.
Yeah, well, I didn't really like the DDR as much as be amused by the DDR. He was one of the more innovative players on Magic League, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's been writing about the game.
He's been writing about the game for years and years. He was free-side content on one of the premium websites for a long time.
Nobody realized they should have been charging for him.
Nobody realized they should have been paying.
Yeah, it's funny to me how much truly good technology is out there that will show up in sort of unexpected places.
Oh, sure. We've talked about this over the last few constructed events. In the forums of the various websites, there's huge deck discussion threads that you can find for Dragonstorm decks. Mm-hmm. Huge.
Even the French Sunnyside Up deck that people were saying, there's a forum thread on that.
Sure.
Wow. Gabriel Nassif scoops them up. Holy Tiago Chan, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Tiago Chan, he actually, for a brief moment on Friday, contemplated not even showing up for this quarterfinal match. He thought he had that little chance. He's like, I have to change my flight. Yeah, do it. I have to change my flight. I have to go get a hotel room. I have no chance to win the unwinnable matchup.
He was kicked out of his hotel room.
Well, yeah. Well, he also didn't have one for
and he
Sunday
did not have one for Sunday. And in fact, when he came in this morning, he said, "Well, my flight's not until this afternoon.
Right.
The honorable thing to do is come in and lose, and then catch my flight." Well, maybe not. But I mean, if he wins this match, he can afford to change his flight. He can certainly afford the $100 charge to change his ticket.
Oh wow, John Becker was watching Gabriel Nassif's hand. John, what actually happened down there in that on that last turn? Can we get John Becker? John, can we get John Becker's microphone turned on?
Well, it sounds like we're
okay. How's that? Better?
Oh, there's John.
Okay. Hey, on the last turn, you saw that Gabe has compulsive research, and Tiago
right.
remanded it. Well, Gabe thought about it for a while, and right. So he wanted to make sure he did compulsive research. Thought about it for a while. Paid the compulsive research, going ahead and tapping out for it.
Okay.
So he drew the disenchant for the Sacred Mesa.
Okay.
He failed to draw a land to be able to pop the Martyr for not to die.
Wow.
So the Pegasus token. So he scooped off. Now he drew a land, could have played the land, popped the Martyr for like 12 life, lived through it, disenchanted the token next turn, and also done the proclamation again to save himself. But he drew no land, and so he could not pop the Martyr.
Wow.
Wow.